Hi, a friend of mine once told me that when he was learning in yeshiva, he received a phone call from his mother who told him that after much research, she had found out that her mother had a conservative conversion, making her, and obviously her son, not halachically Jewish. After hanging up with his mother, he went to the office of the Rosh Yeshiva and asked him, what should he do? The Rosh Yeshiva answered, don't worry, give it a week or two and we'll take you to the mikvah and do a gir l'chumrah. Fine, the Bachar thought, but one thing the Rav said, this Shabbos, you must do one malacha. The Bachar thought, malacha? On Shabbos? Rabbi, it's me. In this video, I'm going to show you how it's perfectly acceptable, if not required, for a Ben Noach or someone who knows they're a Ben Noach to keep Shabbos fully. To start chronologically, the first question we have to ask is, how did the Avos keep Shabbos? The Or Chaim brings down that from the beginning of humanity, from Adam Arishon, there has always been someone keeping Shabbos, and if there weren't, the world wouldn't exist. To this, the Satmar Rav asks, how did they keep Shabbos before Matan Torah, before the Torah was given? Because I know you've heard it many times. Akum Cheshvas Chayav Misa, that a non-Jew who keeps Shabbos fully is liable to the death penalty. First and foremost, we would have to understand that this commandment would not be applicable, let's say, to Adam Arishon. Why? Because he existed before the commandment was issued in Parshas Noach, where it says, day and night you shall not rest. Here, our sages say that apart from the literal statement referring to nature, here it's referring to a commandment to the Bnei Noach, that day and night they shall not rest. So, from this, many Jews have understood it to mean that a Gentile can't keep Shabbos, because again it states, day and night you shall not rest. And again, from Adam Arishon to Noach, this prohibition would not be applicable, because in this case, Adam existed before the flood, like I said before. So, the question that we should be asking is that from the flood to Mount Sinai, how could the Avos have kept Shabbos? Another big question we must also ask is whether the patriarchs were Jewish. This is actually a big discussion with the Rishonim and Achronim, whether they were Jewish or not, and what was the true din of the Avos. However, everyone agrees that at least Shem and Noach were not Jews. And the real question really begins if Abraham Avinu was a Jew, which what I have learned, of course he was a Jew, but you have to understand there's opinions that go back and forth on this. However, we see in the Sefer Parshas Drachim that it brings down a midrash in Parshas Eikev that states that Yosef the Tzaddik told his servants to go slaughter an animal and prepare it. And here the midrash says that when he says to prepare it, he meant to prepare it for Shabbos. So here we learn that Yosef the Tzaddik kept Shabbos. So the Sefer Parshas Drachim asks, how can Yosef the Tzaddik keep Shabbos if Akum Sheshvas Chayav Misa? And even Rashi brings down that there's a medrash that even said that there was an argument between them on what was their din, if they were considered Bnei Noach or Bnei Yisrael, as after Matan Torah. But here the Satmar Rav said that we have to analyze the Gemara to see what it really means when it says that Reish Lakish says, Akum Sheshvas Chayav Misa, referring to Parshas Noach when it says, again, that day and night you shall not rest. So it seems that the Bnei Noach were commanded not to keep Shabbos. However, Ravina says that this has nothing to do with Shabbos, but rather any day of the week they're forbidden to rest. So if a non-Jew decided to keep Monday, he would also be Chayav Misa. So here Rashi reiterates that a non-Jew who rests from doing his malacha any whole day is liable for the death penalty. It has nothing to do with Shabbos. So according to the Satmar Rav, here we see that the Gemara and Rashi state that it has nothing to do with keeping Shabbos, but it actually means taking a day off that's prohibited. Why? Because you need to be contributing something to the world every day. Here, Rav Avigdor Miller also states that in the meaning of Akum Sheshvas Chayav Misa, that it's specifically not for religious reasons. But it's interesting, here, Rav Avigdor Miller also states that the meaning of Akum Sheshvas Chayav Misa has nothing to do with taking a day off for religious reasons. In other words, when a Jew takes a day off for Shabbos, we're doing something active. So the religious point of Shabbos produces something. It's not wasting time. So the point is that you're not allowed to waste your time and do nothing a whole day. And again, keeping Shabbos is considered something special. when you have in mind whether you're keeping it for religious reasons. So someone who does not have that connection is not adding to the world, but rather subtracting from it. So the prohibition is that he really does not have a right to live because he's not contributing. So that's how Rav Avigdor Miller teaches. But back to the Satmar Rav, he says, we know that from Jewish law, the day starts at night because we start Shabbos Friday night and it goes till Saturday. So Saturday night is already Motzei Shabbos. But however, in the Noahide world, the night goes after the day, meaning that the day starts at dawn, and according to the commandment, it states, day and night you shall not rest. So, night and day you can rest. So the prohibition here brought down by the Satmar Rav, according to Rashi, is that the prohibition only stands for someone to rest day and night, but not how we keep Shabbos, which is night and day. And anyways, before the Sabbath actually begins, we do work on Friday during the day and even at Saturday at night, so it's not considered resting a whole day. So this answers the question, how did Noah keep Shabbos? And also answers a question posed by Parshas Drachim on how Yosef HaSadik kept Shabbos. So in other words, they did Malacha Erev Shabbos, and they also did Malacha Motzei Shabbos. So therefore, they did not violate the command, day and night you shall not rest. Also, the Chatzim Sofer and one of his Rebbeim, the Baal HaFlah, hold the same way. Now, let me try to explain this from another position where a non-Jew is also allowed to keep Shabbos, and not only allowed, but may even be required to do so. Now, this is when the non-Jew in question is a Ger Toshav. There are three opinions on what is a Ger Toshav. One, a non-Jew who takes a pledge in front of a Beis Din not to worship idols. Two, a non-Jew who commits to keep the 7 laws. 3, a non-Jew who commits to keep all the negative commandments in the Torah. Why is this important? Because it states in Parshas Yisro, but the 7th day is the Sabbath day to the Lord. On it you shall do no work, neither you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns, meaning a Ger Toshav. So, whichever interpretation you choose, here you're not talking about an ordinary non-Jew, so this definitely allows a Noahide or even someone in the conversion process not just permission to keep Shabbos, but he is rather obligated to do so. Rashi further explains that a Ger Toshav's formal commitment not to worship idols also obligates him to Sabbath observance, since a Sabbath violator is equated with one who worships idols. We've even seen the Bir Halacha that the Chafetz Chaim expounds on a comment made by the Maggid Avram that says that a Ger Toshav could take upon himself not only the 7 laws, but the entire range of mitzvahs incumbent on a Jew. Now, many are probably wondering, why on earth am I making this video? Well, if you didn't know already, there's a gross injustice happening in the majority of the world today. That injustice is that sincere potential converts are being turned away because the state of Israel has outlawed conversions in about 90% of the world. To the point that these individuals are not even allowed to enter synagogues in their own area. So that means that you have thousands of Noahides keeping as many mitzvahs as they can as a way to connect with the divine. And the last thing they need to hear due to Israel's conversion policy is that they're not able to keep Shabbos fully. Well, I'm here to tell you that you could keep Shabbos fully, and no matter what a bunch of cruel rabbis may say, your desire to convert guarantees you a share in our God's holy Torah, like the Rambam says. The Torah is an inheritance of the congregation of Jacob and to all those who desire to convert from among the nations. If you're interested in learning more about Judaism, I want you to visit bejewish.org. There we have a lot of videos that can help you on your journey. And please visit our latest site, radiotorah.com, where you'll get Torah lectures 24 hours a day, playing continuously. Don't forget, radiotorah.com and bejewish.org. Thank you.